And we're back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to be doing the Steps of Faith battle. Oh dear. Okay, here we go. So obviously we've had to practice this fight, but let's see how we do. And I've got a series of macros that I used for giving commands to the players. Okay, so far so good. Now something that comes into play after the first tower, sorry, after this first gate, is a dragon killer, which is a big cannon from the tower, which will do a huge amount of damage to the boss. There'll be 3 of these throughout the journey as well. The boss can mostly be ignored because he just does what he wants. So this is mostly about ad management. I'm trying to get him down in time. Great, great, great. Doing really well at this point. If this is done right, he should be dead by the third wall, but, you know, it really depends on the DPS of the group and so on, everyone working together. Okay, so far so good. So we're doing really well. So I'm really proud of these guys for following the orders. Good. We're doing well, we're doing well. We got this, we got this. No problem. So when you wouldn't know what to do, it's actually quite a simple fight, and we killed him way in advance. It's like just after the third ward is when about the time you should be killing him if you know what you're doing. We did really well. It's really awesome. So, Ishgard still stands. Dun dun dun. we won. Woohoo! Yeah, let's get out of here. That was awesome. What a good fight. It took some time and we did wipe quite a few times, but now we've figured it out, so... So the dragons, they are withdrawing. Victory is ours. So one of Nidhogg's greatest champions slain. The Horde will not recover soon from this blow. But what of you, Nidhogg? Why did you not join your minions and make of this battle a slaughter? Have you grown so fond of the stench of your lair? Mayhap you prefer to have your allies fight your battles for you. You have a girl do your bidding now, do you not? No matter, I shall slay Iceheart and all the rest. But I yearn to spill the blood of a great Yum, Nidhogg. And only your death will sate my lance. If I remember rightly, I think you actually encounter this guy during the Dragoon storyline, if you've leveled up Dragoon. That's awesome. That's really awesome. Finally got it done, but all it took was 4 sets of macros used at the right time. For people to get the point. So anyway, let's talk to Alpha Node. So, Mithrie, the dragons are rooted. Lest you wonder, the fighting at Steel Vigil was also fierce, but my Crystal Braves were not found wanting. Commander Levileur, Mithrie, true to your word, you arrived to aid us in our hour of need. On behalf of the Holy See and the people of Ishgard, I offer you my humble thanks. Though I would stay and lavish you with well-deserved praise, I fear I must away to oversee the aftermath of the siege. Not all the dragons are fled, and there are yet wounded to be carried from the field. Pray let us meet anon, that I might express my thanks with a proper courtesy. I too would offer my thanks, Mithrie. Through your deeds we have achieved a victory of singular importance. With the Dravanian horde thus weakened and scattered, the threat to Ishgard has been greatly diminished. And mayhap equally significant, the Holy See must now recognize the necessity of cooperation with foreign powers. Long have they barred their gates against the outside world, but I am confident that the day will soon come when Ishgard proclaims itself a member of the Eorzean Alliance once more. Much have we sacrificed in our struggles against dragons and primals, the Ascians and the Empire, but step by unfaltering step, we march ever nearer to our goal. And as ever, the journey is made with you in the van. The victory you have won this day gives us greater hope for the morrow. 'Tis a hope that shall sustain us in the days to come, and bear us past the many evils that yet seek to hinder our progress. Yes, we have done well, my friend, and I for one would take a moment to savour the enormity of our achievement. The demands of duty, however, allow me little time for levity. I must accompany Captain Ilberd back to Uldar and reassign those braves whose squad suffered heavy losses. You, my friend, have earned a rest at the Rising Stones. Pray return to Revenant's Toll and share your tale with Mithrie in person. Okay, let's go back to the Rising Stones. Let's see Mithrie. So yeah, so it's one of those fights. It seemed, to be honest, impossible at the beginning, but once you understand the concept and the mechanics, then it's really, really straightforward. And having all 4 DPS on it all the time with an off-tank and a healer on the cannon seems like the best idea at this point. Let's go into the Rising Stones. I'll just change back into my Bard gear. I also went as a tank for that, for quicker queues, but also because I could have greater command of the squad. That was really an epic fight though, that was really fun. So let's see, entrance to the Solar. There's Mithrie. So Mithrie, welcome back. Alpha Node sent word to this of the siege, and of course of the role you played in ending it. Your deeds never cease to amaze me, Mithrie, thank you. So let's take a quick tongue, because I think those are worth more. They might have changed now, because there's probably 1 million of them on the market board. Let's talk to Mithrie again. The next quest is called Administrative Decision. Mithrie seems loath to put you to further trouble so soon after your last exertion. You must be weary, Mithrie, and now may very well be your only chance to... Antecedent. A messenger from Uldar arrived with a missive for you. The Royal Seal. Curious indeed. Ah, an invitation. On behalf of the Council of the Eorzean Alliance, Her Royal Majesty Nanamo Ul Namo invites the Signs of Seventh Dawn to attend a feast at the Royal Palace of Uldar in honor of Ishgar's recent victory. It would seem we are to be recognized for our part in lifting the siege, you for your valiant efforts as commander of the adventurers contingent, and the Archons for their earnest attempts to rouse the city-states. Truly, I find it strange the Alliance leaders should think themselves deserving of a place at such a celebration. That's true. All 3 refused to deploy their standing armies, preferring to send hastily assembled companies of sellswords, many of whom perished ere the siege began. Are they truly so brazen as to seek to share in the glory of your triumph? Ah, but mayhap they simply seek to pretext to meet with the Ishgardians while the mood is yet jubilant. Such an occasion would present a fine opportunity to press for Ishgar's return to the Eorzean Alliance. We have scarce had time to mourn Mumbrida, and I for one am not in the mood to Karos. But I suppose we must put away our grief for the good of the realm. Though you were promised rest, I fear I must insist that you also attend. It would be a strange celebration indeed if the victorious hero were not present. Pray content yourself with the thought that such occasions may bring about monumentous change, and this without recourse to bloodshed. Tataru, if you would do the favor of contacting the rest of the Scions. Of course, Antecedent. And please let me know if there's anything else I can do, Sai. Curious. I've never known Tataru to sigh at such requests. Could be aught amiss? Dun dun dun. Let's go find out. Okay, look for Tataru at her desk. Very strange, very strange. Tataru is conspicuous by her absence. Let's ask her. So Tataru, I believe she just stepped outside. Now that I think on it, she did seem rather preoccupied. There's a twist in the making right here. Where is she? Where is she? There she is. Oh, Mithrie, it's you. I didn't mean to worry anyone. It's nothing, really. Well, it's not nothing exactly, but it feels like nothing compared to the towering trials you and the others face every day. And that's why I should probably talk to Mithrie before things get any worse. You always know what to say, Mithrie. I'm glad we had this little chat. Lol. Okay, so let's again go speak to Mithrie in the Rising Stones. I try my best to say the right thing. Okay, here's Mithrie, and here she is, Tataru. She's back. Yes, Tataru, you have my undivided attention. I've been hesitant to broach the subject, what with all the recent excitement, but Mithrie made me realize that there's no time like the present, and time is what I'm here to ask for. I'm not sure I understand. If you wish to be excused from your duties for a time, then you have certainly earned the rest, but I suspect that lying abed is far from your intent. You know me too well, Antecedent. There is in fact something I've been wanting to try my hand at. Along with the adventurers and the Crystal Braves, the Science are constantly being thrown into dangerous battles and deadly predicaments. Even Horay Boulder and Colinet have been promoted from grand duty to fill our need for competent warriors, and so it seems only right that I too shall acquire the power to defend myself, and others more importantly. When I return, I shall be both your receptionist and your bodyguard. That was a very odd look. Whoa, hey. Not even sure if that was a smile, that looked sinister. So that's the first time I've almost been knocked to the ground by a Lalafell. I've never seen Mr. Tataru so determined. Has aught befell which I might help, Antecedent? Not at present, thank you. Was there something you would ask of me? Oh yes, pray excuse my distraction. An adventurer who was to join us for escort duty was injured while out on patrol, and I fear we cannot properly defend the scholars entrusted to our protection without the aid of at least one more guard. Therefore, I humbly request that another adventurer of the capable kind, of course, be assigned to our party. Very well, I shall consider the potential candidates and provide you with a replacement as soon as I am able. My thanks, Antecedent. I take my leave of you. Okay, that's administrative decision done. Okay, next quest. There's more than one. So, there's an unexpected ambition, which we'll do first. So, Mithrie is at a loss for words. The power to defend oneself? Tataru has ever been full of surprises. Now that I think on it, I do recall Urianger mentioning that she had developed an interest in Arcanima. Mayhaps she hopes to gain admittance to the Arcanist Guild in Limsa. Yes, that will be the way of it. Would you be so kind as to journey to the guild and see all is well? It is doubtless unwarranted, but surely I am not alone in my concern for her safety. Okay, so let's go. We'll come back to Mithrie after this quest. We'll just go, for now, just get this one done. I like to do things one at a time. Okay, A for I, A, oops. You want A for I, A for Net, Arcanist Guild. I'll save you the run. Must be downstairs, maybe. Ah, here she is. Sweet, she's leveling up. Mithrie, what are you doing here? I didn't mean for her to worry. That's the last thing I wanted. Putting an end to such worries is precisely the reason I'm here, don't you see? I, Tataru, shall become a great and powerful Arcanist. And now, at Mistress Fumagem's behest, I must go and complete a special training exercise until we meet again. Yep. So I'm guessing she's training hard to be an Arcanist. Let's hope she'll be okay. If it isn't Mithrie, what brings you to the guild? So you are acquainted with our newest member. An Arcanist of your experience must see that her potential is somewhat lacking. Nevertheless, she would not be denied, and goes now to undertake her first trial, a simulated inspection of the 3 crates. Doubtless you recall receiving similar training under Kalia's supervision. A thought occurs to me, why not oversee Tataru's training yourself? Given your relationship with the girl and your familiarity with the task, I think you the ideal choice. You need only head to the cliff south of Viper Gate as before and observe at a distance. Okay, so let's go out the Zypher Gate. So you can again use the Aethernet, sorry. See Zypher Gate right there. And there we go. Yeah, so she really is doing the Arcanist quest, these crates. Ah, the memories. So, over Azure seas to Pirate's Port, where she met her shining jewel. For to bring the smuggler's plan to naught came the lass whom none could fool. Beat 'em with a backdraft, gut 'em with a gut, deck 'em with a downburst, go carbuncle go. Are those crates I spy? Ah, and this must be the true test. And we're ready for them, aren't we, Carbuncle? Nope, Carbuncle's like, nope. Carbuncle? Carbuncle's just not interested. Lol. Come back, Carbuncle, come back. That's actually really funny. So you have to speak with her, make sure she's okay. I should have known you'd come, Mithrie. You needn't say a word, your face says it all. I know you bore witness to my shame. Betrayed by my own carbuncle and left at the mercy of wild beasts. I must accept the truth, I'll never be a warrior like you or the others. I will inform Miss from Regem my intention to withdraw from the guild. Arcanima, like much else, is beyond me. Okay. She's a bit dramatic. She just wants to help. We need to go straight back to the Arcanist Guild. Of course, so. There's always a purpose to these stories. So I wonder what the purpose of this story is. Right, let's keep going. Oh yeah, I need to do those Moogle delivery quests at some point. I need to catch up like 3 patches worth. Save away, Aethernet, Arcanist Guild. So, back so soon. How fared our fledgling Arcanist? Abysmally, Mistress from Reborn. Abysmally, as Mithrie will testify. I was wrong to become an Arcanist, wrong as usual. I am completely and utterly unqualified, and I sincerely apologize for wasting your time. Tatara, if that were true, I would not have permitted you to join in the first place. We all must come to accept our limitations, lest our ambitions lead us astray. However, we must not lose sight of our strengths in the process. For example, your exceptional skill with numbers helped you to gain a solid grasp of the fundamentals of Arcanima. Were it not so, you would have struggled even to summon Carbuncle to your side. In my opinion, the Scions are truly fortunate to have such a capable and good-natured receptionist in their service. Would you not agree? You are too kind, Mistress from Regium. Though I could not overcome this challenge, I shall take your words to heart and try not to be discouraged. Oh, come on, group hug. Why not? Nah, never mind. Okay, so let's talk to Tataru again. So her next quest is called Ancient Ways, Timeless Wants. Tataru is considering her next course of action and how you might aid her in it. As fetching as these garments are, I feel I shall never don them again. But I can't go back to the Rising Stones without something to show for my time away. Wait, I know what I can do. That is, if you don't mind accompanying me for a little longer. Wonderful. Then to Costa del Sol we shall go. It's a bit of a gamble, but I'm confident it will pay off. Okay, so let's go to Costa del Sol. Teleport. And remember guys, that all of this quest line has to be done if you want to get into Ishgard in the expansion. So you have to finish 2.55. Which you got changed quickly. And this is it. This is where the man at the drowning wench told me to look. There is a certain variety of clam which can be harvested this time of year in Bloodshore. One which produces the most marvellous pearls. However, these clams are also coveted by certain wild creatures, and since I fared rather poorly in battle last time, let us be off. Okay, we're going to talk to her again. We need to go just south of Costa del Sol. Oh, beautiful scenery around here. What's fortune, I've already found one. Would you be so kind as to keep watch while I work? This should only take a moment. Okay, let's deal with this one. Cool. The tower seems to be okay. Of course, if this was any real threat to me, then I would just start doing my kiting as a bard. Okay. Well fought, Mithrie, well fought. I knew I was right to ask you to come. As for me, I have my prize, a bounty of blood pearls. So named for their reddish hue, they were treasured as wards against dark magics in ancient times. I thought I might make chants for everyone, so that no matter where they go, they will always come home. It's sort of the power to defend myself and other people, in a way. Right, well, I mustn't keep Flynn hit mine waiting. These names are amazing. There's work to be done, and lots of it. Where to secure the provisions to the science of the Laminza markets, she may have an eye for quality, but I have a nose for bargains. Will you be heading back to the Rising Stones? If so, pray convey my apologies to the antecedent, and tell her that she needn't worry about me. Farewell, Mithrie, and thank you for everything. That sounded rather final, didn't it? How about until we meet again? Coffin wink, coffin wink. I hope Square Enix is not trying to tell us anything. What is she up to? I can't tell if those looks are, you know, genuine or if they're evil. What does it all mean? We should get Hildebrand to investigate this. Welcome home, Mithrie. I gather you found Tataru and Limsa Laminza? My, it sounds as though she had quite an adventure, and while it did not end as she had hoped, I suspect it will prove to be a valuable experience. I dare say she could have managed without our intervention. Even so, I appreciate you indulging my request. That's complete. Okay, so let's do the next quest. The next quest is called Where We Are Needed. Mithrie is eyeing you with a mixture of regret and desperation. I wonder, do you perchance recall the commitment I made to furnish Hooray Boulder with a capable adventurer? Well, I'm sorry to say that I have yet been unable to do so. Now, I realize you are rather more than a capable adventurer, and that escort duty is frankly beneath a woman of your talents. But I have no one else to turn to at present. Might you be willing to forgo rest and assist us in this matter? Generous to a fault, I thank you, Mithrie. Now, it seems only fair that I explain the import of the task in question. For some time, our order had employed a handful of scholars to travel around the Eorzea, taking etheric readings that we might better understand the impact of primal summonings. Naturally, it behooves us to ensure our employees' safety, and we ask that the adventurers in our service to serve as escorts. Hooray Boulder and Coldnet were to act as two such escorts, as was a third adventurer. Alas, due to injury, I said adventurer is not presently fit for duty, hence my need to impose upon your goodwill. You truly are a pillar of strength, Mithrie. Hooray Boulder will share with you the details of your task. He should be waiting for you outside. Be safe. Okay, so let's go talk to him. Ah, Mithrie, it is true that you agreed to lend us a hand? Huzzah! What did I tell you, Colnet? Our misfortune is become a blessing, an opportunity to serve alongside the Warrior of Light herself. I need to remind you that we have 3 scholars to escort, each of whom will take a different route. True, but our mission is the same, separated by miles we may be, but in spirit we shall be together. If such thoughts bring you joy, you are welcome to think them. To more practical concerns, Mithrie, we would have you attend to the scholar charged with surveying the South Shroud. He is waiting at Camp Tranquil as we speak. All you need to do is follow the man. He will determine the most appropriate locations to take his readings. In spirit, Mithrie, in spirit we shall be together every step of the way. Okay, let's go to Camp Tranquil. So, here is the unsettled scholar. So, at last, a silent woman deigns to grace me with her presence. A pity that we have no time for pleasantries. Our first destination is Isam Ha. Come, we are late enough as it is. How far are we going? We have to go there. No problem. So we say, hello, Reo Sana. Or Sina. How are you doing? Thanks for helping me become a 50 white mage. For me, this is like the calm before the storm. It's like we're graduating from the university in Pharmacie before the war wrecks the world in the form of Heaven's Ward. Yes, this location should suffice. Once I finish calibrating my instruments, I will require but a moment to take the necessary measurements. I trust I need not explain that my work can suffer no interruptions. Then please, stand at an appropriate distance and keep watch for wild beasts. Okay, so obviously we have a fight in our hands. Okay, done. Next. I see we have both completed our respective tasks, a satisfactory outcome. Though, if I could make one suggestion, you might try to dispatch your foes more quietly in future. I do not like to pick fault, but I really must be allowed to concentrate. Now then, Snake Malt awaits, shall we? I'm sorry, just Mithrie is very passionate when she shoots her arrows. So we have to run just outside Amtapor Keep, which is really not far. In a way, doing quests in this area is almost like a goodbye to these areas, because in terms of Mithrie and her progress, because Mithrie's been level 50 everything for months now, you know, it's all like, let's just finish the story, let's finish a run Reborn, and let's get ready to move on when the expansion comes out. Okay, almost there. So we're going just here, just outside Amtapor Keep. So, right about here, yes, as before, I ask that you keep an eye out for dangerous beasts as I work. Let's use all my buffs and try and kill this quickly. Done. So fascinating. These readings are not all what I expected. Though perhaps that should come as no surprise. I am not given to superstition, but there is a queer, almost blasphemous air about. Let us quit this place and return to Roots Lake. We have one more site to survey. Okay, so we need to go to the lost city of Vanderpoor. So I'm going to quickly just teleport to Camp Tranquil to save the running. So being able to click the map to teleport somewhere is a very clever feature. Almost there. So, as before, my guardian, pray leave me to my task and assure our safety. Okay, standing watch. So there's time to do all the buffs before they actually attack. And there's more. Ooh. That reminds me, I still need to finish my Mahatma farming to finish off my Zeta. Okay. So this data should prove invaluable. Ye gods, what is that stench? Did you slaughter a creep of Vandermantois while my back was turned? Quickly now, to Camp Tranquil. I will not have my clothing reeking of blood and offal. It's true. I don't think Mithrie showered in the last year and a half. I guess they need to add in a shower feature to the FC houses or something. Okay, here we go. So you choose to paddle in the Ica a while longer, I take it. No matter, I took advantage of my unexpected privacy to perform a cursory analysis of my data. It would appear that there has been a measurable decrease in Eorzea's ambient aether concentration since the calamity. However, this data is far from conclusive. We must take additional measurements to confirm my assessment. Okay, complete. Next quest. So it's called The Least Among Us. Who better to serve the signs of the Seventh Dawn than a humble scholar and his faithful assistant? For our next survey, I would have you escort me to Earth's font. The ambient aether concentrations there are so high that crystalline structures form spontaneously. Consequently, anomalous fluctuations should be much easier to detect. Brilliant, yes? No, don't bother answering. That was rhetorical. Now come along. Yeah, to be honest, the only person meaner than him is the leader of the Monk Guild, of the Pugilist Guild. The one who teaches you to be a monk, he's just a complete ass. But anyway, let's go. So we go to Earthspawn all the time in our spirit bonding adventures. That's how we made so much money. That's how we bought a house and so on. And it's also the home of Odin. So it is cool how these Magitechs play the Terror theme now from Final Fantasy VI. Always constantly trying to remind us that yes, this is a Final Fantasy game. I do not ever forget it. And what Final Fantasy means to us after all these years. Okay, and the mobs in this area are, you can see, level 47, so they will aggro you. After all we've been through, they really shouldn't be any type of threat, but yeah. Just don't think that you're invisible to them. There's no one here spirit bonding, that's interesting. I guess people are too busy. So, should be more than familiar with the procedure by now. Pray find a suitable position from which to keep watch while I take measurements. I would like Odin to show up, really. So we don't have a fight. This one must be a cutscene. Yep, I was right. Yes, quite high, yet still markedly lower than the historical measurements taken near the end of the 6th Astral Era. Does the presence of a primal account for the difference? Or is there something else? Something else. Something else. Scion, come here, I need you. Fear not, my friends, help has arrived. There you are, Mithrie. Hurry and I were worried when you and your charge failed to return at the appointed hour. Gutted like a hog, but not by one, no. These wounds were made by a blade. Doesn't look like he put up much of a fight either. Nary a mark on his sword or his shield. I've heard nothing of any Crystal Braves operations in this area. What cause has Wildred to come here? What shall we do? We will see to the scholar's protection, Mithrie. Aye, and the boy's remains. You should return to the Rising Stones. The antecedent will want to know what happened here. And so do I. Dun dun dun. Okay, let's go back to Menphelia and the Rising Stones. So, Mordona, Revenant's Toll, teleport. There's obviously something amiss. Given the evil looks that Tataru gave before, it's like I would actually put her on my list of suspects. Sorry to say, but probably wasn't her. Maybe I'm just too untrusting. There we go. Back at the Rising Stones, and there is no one here. Why is there no one here? Okay, let's talk to Menphelia. So, Mithrie, you are returned, and you seem troubled. Did the role of escort Shafi so? I don't know what that word means. So, Wildred dead? Mayhap murdered? By the 12, how can that be? I will send word to Alphanode at once. He will want to conduct a full investigation and send word to Wildred's family. Gods, he was just a boy. Who would do this, and why? Okay, let's complete. So, I've noticed we've already passed the 1 hour mark, so I think this is a very good time to stop. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and as always, goodbye from me, and goodbye from Mithrie.